I'm here with Bob today. He's in my office after having a sleeve gastrectomy done 13 weeks ago. And Bob has lost 89 pounds in 13 weeks. So, Bob, I want to ask you a few questions, if you don't mind. And so, tell me, what was the number one thing that drove you to decide to actually make an appointment and come into the office?
Just felt terrible. Couldn't move, couldn't walk more than like 10 or 15 minutes without my back hurting. And so just needed to do something, you know.
You knew you needed to do something,
right,
because nothing else was working.
No, had decided I would try to, diet and exercise, but I couldn't move long enough to, get anything done. So
So, when I said, hey, can you wait a minute and let's do a video on this, you were about to tell me that something I said on your very first office visit.
When I came in for a consultation, and I was sitting right here, and you told me, you said, you look miserable just sitting there. And I was, just, getting out of the car, walking into the building or something was like, I'm tired, and, and so...
So that really connected with you at that moment.
Oh, yeah.
It was everything you were experiencing.
Right.
And why you were here.
Luckily, my wife, had done some research, and she's like, you need to do something, and so she was one that actually called for the appointment, and everything. So
I think us guys are often that way.
Yeah.
We kind of need a push in that direction.
Yeah, we seem not to like to go to the doctor, and so...
So it's been 13 weeks. I want to know, what's been the worst part of all this?
Realizing how much your social life revolves around food. You meet somebody for lunch. You go out to dinner with friends. You, have family reunions. Or this last Saturday night, my wife and I went to a wedding. And you've got cake and punch and, cocktails and everything, it's like you need to stay away from, And
so let me ask you that. That's a big question. So before surgery, you would have had a big drive towards that food. It would have almost been calling your name.
Oh yeah, I've been like, hurry up and get the wedding over so we can get to the reception,
But now, did you feel that drive towards the food? Was that gone?
No, not at all. We were sitting at a table with probably 8 people, and everybody got up and went, the line to like the buffet, and I sat at the table by myself till everybody got back, and I had a few grapes or something off my wife's plate, but no, I didn't feel the urge to.
Almost that addictive feeling that you gotta have it, that was gone, right?
Right.
Yeah. Isn't that funny, because people think it's all in the brain, you probably did too, that it was your character or your personality or whatever that was driving you towards food, but you really prove that the night of surgery, because that thing disappears, right?
Right. I really can't say I've been hungry since surgery. There's sometimes I have to remind myself to eat. It's like, it's been 4 hours, you haven't had anything to eat, you should eat something, or something.
Right, and that's an important eating rule that I try to teach.
Right.
Is that you've got to plan your meals and follow your plan.
Right.
I want to ask you, get back to that social bit just a little bit. So do you feel like you're able to socialize eating?
Yes, it gets easier as you repeatedly see the same people, and they know that you're not going to eat or you don't need to or something. And the first few times you're like, you're not eating? What's wrong? And
right.
So...
well, it's funny, because there can be a shift in your thoughts that, you know what, if I'm not so focused on the food, I can probably socialize a little more. I can probably actually engage and listen to somebody a little more.
Talk a little more when your mouth's not full, So.
That's right. So 89 pounds, that's a lot of weight in 13 weeks.
Yes, I'm very surprised.
Has that felt like too much too quick, or are you pretty comfortable with that? Or
yeah, it's probably been a little bit too much too quick.
Right.
Some days I do feel a little weak, you know, like maybe I haven't ate enough that day or something.
Right. So you feel like you got to work on that a little
But
bit.
yeah, I think so.
One of the questions I asked you before we turned on this video is how much you could eat right now before. What was the right amount of food for you to eat at one meal? And
Right.
what did you tell me?
About 6 ounces. I still weigh all my food when I eat at home.
Yeah.
You know, restaurants is difficult, but at home I have the scale, and if I just make a little chicken sandwich with a tomato or something, and I put the whole thing on the scale and see what it weighs. And I had one about, I don't know, a week ago, and it was 6 ounces, and that was just about all I could eat. I mean, you know,
And that 6 ounces is exactly where I want you to be and where I want you to stay from now on. So you're learning the skills to kind of know what that is, know what's going to make you feel good, and I think you're at a really good spot right now.
yeah. We have had, you know, the time over the last 2 months since I saw you that we went too far.
Right.
You know, I love pasta. So one day I finally broke down and said, I'm going to have some spaghetti. And I had too much, and I felt terrible.
Right.
I didn't get sick, you know, or anything, but I felt bad, you know, pain, you know.
Right.
And so it's like, okay, you know, that was too much. And
You know, sometimes when we do something, call it a mistake or whatever,
Yeah.
that's uncomfortable, that's kind of a gift because it teaches you
yeah,
that, oh, that was too much. Maybe that smaller amount's the right amount.
yeah, that's what I keep trying to think of, is everything is a learning experience.
That's right.
You know, we have to learn how much is enough, and then, you know, stop there.
Right.
Yeah, so.
Well, I think you've learned a lot in 13 weeks.
Well,
Thanks.